shut up, you listen to my monkey mouth. There's a companion when you got pun on the canoa route. Hopped in a portal and got in a fight, Elias knocked him out. Bow, Naruto fighting style. Bow, UFC he tapped out. Bow, we win, we get crowned. Monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the Ones Who Woke Up podcast. This is Joshua, as always, and today I've got with me
Tai Nguyen.
And so this is going to be everybody's who's watching my podcast's probable first time being exposed to you. So why don't you take a moment to let everybody who's watching understand who you are, what you have going on, where they can support you in the real world and online.
So my name is Tai Nguyen, and I'm a stand-up comedian. I've been doing it for 7 years now, and I'm known for a rap song called Pflugerville Anthem, and I'm recording my comedy album on December 9th and 10th at my house. So find that on my Instagram.
I love it, bro. I love that you've taken control of everything and put together your own space.
Yeah.
So that you can do your stand-up and stuff.
Yeah.
So you said you're doing it out of your house.
Yes.
And so please forgive me because I live under a rock.
Yeah.
So I don't really know anything about you. So please explain to me what you have going on with the stage at your house like I'm a 3-year-old, right? Like I have no idea what's going on.
You have no idea what's going on when you walk into my house. It's like you're walking into a comedy club. So the night I'll turn off, there's professional lighting hitting a stage with like gray drape and like wooden panel floor. And just a really nice experience that make you feel like you're at a comedy club, but it's at a house.
Outstanding, dude. That's neato.
Yeah.
And so where is this at?
It's in Pflugerville.
Pflugerville Anthem. I probably could have guessed that.
Yeah.
And we were speaking earlier about you're originally from
Vietnam.
Yeah, and you came to the States when you were about 5, and you basically immediately came to Austin.
Yeah.
And you've been in and around Austin your entire life since then, correct?
Yeah.
Gang, bro. I consider you that's true local.
I know.
That's like what, 25 years, 26 years in Austin?
I feel like I was there before Mopac had like a purpose, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Back then, Mopac, it's like you take it and like, why am I taking this? There's nothing here. There's not even a gas station.
Oh, before the domain even existed.
Yeah, before the domain was a thing. Yeah, before a lot of things were a thing.
I stayed at the domain as it was becoming the domain.
Oh, just at an apartment?
In a quadplex, about a half mile up the road.
Yeah.
Shout out Alpheus gang. God, the trap.
The trap.
Oh my God, bro. So many crazy memories that my cousin Jeremiah and actually shout out Clifton, my boy Clifton Goins, posted up podcast, all stayed together while we were working at Create-A-Sig. Shout out Justin Surif. And we just had a blast, bro. We were living in Austin. It was cheap. I think it was literally some of the cheapest per square footage that you could find in the city.
Yeah.
And it was a trap house, bro. It was wild times. Wild times in Austin being a crazy young man.
I bet, considering you were in a trap house.
Well, it could have been respectable.
Okay.
I ran it as a trap because I'm a piece of shit.
I was never in a trap house. All my house had AC.
Oh, my house had AC. We were just we were just trapping in there, bro.
Oh, okay.
It was grimy. It was grimy.
You have AC and it was still grimy?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
You
one of
guys have poster of like
maybe one of these days I'll drive you by. I mean, we could just take you through the neighborhood, and you would understand what I'm talking about. You would see the grime. It's like, oh, this is grimy. I
This is
understand.
where activities go down.
Exactly.
It's where people lose their sanity.
Yeah, exactly. People take 10 hits of LSD in their bedrooms and never come back right again.
Wow.
That's what happened to me.
You took a lot of LSD.
Yeah, 10 hits. Then one evening, 5 hits, and then 5 hits.
Then what happened?
I had my heart weighed against the feather of truth in the hall of Anubis, in front of every god that's ever existed.
Oh, jeez. That was testing your purity or what?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's exactly. So at the time I was like 500 pounds.
Yeah.
And I had convinced myself that I had gotten so high that I had gotten ecstatic and had a heart attack and died in my bedroom.
Yeah.
And so I went through the full oh shit, I just died, what's left experience. And yeah, it was really, really neato. I think it's one of the most important experiences of my entire life, right up there with like being born, my son being born, and my big LSD trip that I had.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a neato experience to go through. I highly recommend it. One of the big things is doing it in silent darkness.
Yeah.
You know, whenever the psychedelic experience starts getting overwhelming,
Yeah.
right, people tend to open their eyes and try to orient themselves with things in their space that they're familiar with,
Yeah.
right? And when you're in silent darkness,
Yeah.
you're incapable of doing that
Yeah.
because it's just fucking dark,
Yeah.
right? So you open your eyes to try and escape the psychedelic confrontation that you're having, and guess what?
Yeah.
Nothing changes when you open your eyes because it's just as pitch black, empty black canvas for the psychedelic to emerge from as the back of your eyelids.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I just meditated in a lotus pose the entire time, which I wound up like laying back. I stacked up a bunch of pillows and like laid back after a while. And yeah, was a really, really beautiful experience. Profoundly important.
Yeah.
There were so many nuggets of profound truth that I drug out of that experience that I've taken years to figure out how to translate. Like the having my heart weighed against the feather of truth in the hall of Anubis.
Yeah.
That's not something that, like, speaking it that way isn't something that I knew how to do the next day.
Yeah.
I had to do a lot of reading and piecing together other people's experiences and referencing psychedelic experience from the past and referencing a lot of theological writings and ideas, and did a lot of searching, buddy, to find the right words to clearly articulate to my mind what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were saying that you've done some psychedelics before. Anything like that ever gone down for you? You ever take just way too much, like an asshole?
Yeah.
How'd that go? I want to hear all about it.
Yeah, it's one time, I was with my little brother, and, I bought some shroom, some chocolate shroom.
Like just a mushroom infused chocolate?
Yeah, but a lot of bars. So me and my little brother took it. We saw like a film. I think it's called it's a movie about Matt Damon, but he's like a tiny, really small person. Almost like a microscopic size.
Like Indian in the closet size.
Yeah, around there. But yeah, downsize. Yeah, you saw it. It's kind of boring.
Bits and pieces, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's kind of boring.
Never seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw the whole movie. We thought it didn't kick in, so we took more. And then
That's what happened to me.
Yeah, and
That's exactly what happened to
when
me.
we were driving,
That's why I took 5 and 5.
and I think we were driving to like a bar downtown, Buzzmill, but the drive seemed to like take forever. It's like we're stuck in a loop. So we were on a trip, but it wasn't like seeing stuff, but it's a psychedelic trip of being on the highway forever.
Yeah, you had a fractal experience on the highway driving through the same time loop.
Yeah, it felt like a long time in just like the same area. It's kind of weird.
So, how many mushrooms did you wind up taking, you think, in total?
I have no idea because I don't know how much of it in measurement, but apparently it's a lot.
Apparently.
Because I thought it didn't work. And we also had some LSD, and we thought the LSD didn't work neither.
Was this on the same trip, or was
Yeah,
this
the same trip. Yeah.
And y'all took LSD and mushrooms at the same time?
Yeah, but I don't think we took many LSD.
Just like a hit or two each or something?
Yeah, he dropped it on like a sweet tart, so we just, yeah.
That's how I do it too, man.
Yeah.
Sweet tarts will shock your ass.
Yeah. So yeah, it hit, and then afterward we end up at Walmart, and we just noticed how like all the DVD, like you look at DVD, all the characters like moving on the cover.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It definitely makes appreciating art easier, right?
Yeah.
I really want to do it and go to an art museum.
Yeah.
I would love to go.
It's fun out in nature.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you can just lay down on the grass and it'll feel good.
Yeah, fuck yeah,
You
bro.
don't need much stimulation.
Like sit in some shallow water that's running.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a creek.
Yeah.
Go sit in the creek, stack some rocks,
Yeah.
do some toddler shit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
There's something
good.
there's something fun about being outside. When you're first off, there's just really good vibes in the woods.
Yeah.
You know, period.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we're supposed to be. I feel like our brains are better suited for cracking reindeer skulls with rocks than it is for podcasting.
Yeah.
So I feel like being out in that environment.
I mean, that might be the future. Home built in like woods and stuff. You know?
I think
Find a
absolutely.
way to fuse it.
I definitely think that as we evolve, our technology and our architecture and our lifestyles will become more harmonious and in tune with the cycles
planet.
of nature. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I think that one of the most noble goals that technology can pursue is planetary harmony.
Yeah.
Right, and so if your technology is planetarily harmonious, you're fucking killing it.
Yeah.
We're not there yet, but we're working towards it. There's some big profitable greedy people who are standing in the way of some stuff like that, but they'll die off eventually, you know.
Yeah.
Or we'll guillotine 2024. One of the two. We'll figure something out. We'll
Yeah.
find a way. Life finds a way.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we crawled out of the mud, homie. We crawled out of the fucking mud.
I know. And now we made everything a big deal.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what happens whenever you're working your way up the hierarchy of human actualization, right?
Yeah.
No one here is worried about how they're going to get their nutrition for the day, really. You know?
Yeah.
No one here is really worried about where they're going to get their clean water. You know, you're not in imminent threat of dying from malaria.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything's pretty comfortable, and so when you get to that point, your base level needs are taken care of, but I believe that we're all programmed to operate with a particular amount of anxiety, right? Like fear and anxiety keep us safe naturally, right? Like you don't go where bears are, you know? That's how you fucking stay alive. And so
Yep.
that same mechanism is being utilized to get us through these higher end bits of the human actualization process, and it's a little bit too heavy-handed of a bit of instrumentation, I feel like. Like, I don't think that fear needs to be what's guiding you through society whenever you can get enough sugar from a soda machine to give yourself type 2 diabetes. Like, you can think beyond conflict at that point. And so we're just in the process of waking up right now. That's why I'm doing this podcast, so that we can all have frank conversations. This is going to live on for forever. This is on the internet now. Unless someone
Yeah.
comes along and pulls the mega plug on the internet, which isn't going to happen. It's in too many people's benefit for it to go away, right? Like the people
Yeah.
who run the planet have hooked their profit mills into the internet, so they're never going to let it go away. It's too easy
Yeah.
of money, predicting where we're going to spend our money and profiting off connecting that.
Oh, yeah. They find out through social media. They know what we search for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the social media
And
platforms
they show us their ads. On the phone.
well, they
Yeah.
have good data.
Yeah,
they
have
know
good
what we're
data, yeah.
searching. They know what we're into.
Yeah.
I've seen where some of these,
They probably know more about me than I do myself.
they probably have more clearly identified key performance indicators surrounding your activity within the capitalist system to make determinations about where you're going to spend your money.
Yeah.
Right? Like they probably know where you're going to spend your money in 6 months better than you do, but they'll never know you better than you know you. They just know your tendencies in terms of how you spend your money and where you put your eyes on your cell phone.
Yeah.
And they can take that data and do algebra to it. You know, they do business calculus with these little bits of data that they find and calculate to a pretty goddamn high degree where
Yeah.
we're going to be and what we're going to be doing.
I think they have AI that does all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They absolutely have.
Like an algorithm.
Exactly. You
know?
have to understand that at the end of the day, AI isn't that scary, man. AI is really just,
Depending on what you use them for.
well, it's just all it is a logic calculator, bro.
Yeah.
All it is a logic cruncher. If
Yeah.
this, then that. If this is necessarily the case, then this necessarily must happen. Like, it's literally that simple. And the problem is that the machines are so capable of performing calculations rapidly
Yeah.
that they can work through magnificently large truth tables to arrive at conclusions faster than people.
Yeah.
Right? But like the tools that the machines use to determine right and wrong and yes and no in these situations are tools that we equip them with. They're human tools being
Yeah.
wielded by software.
Yeah.
And so all it is that they are more able to run these calculations faster than us. But we could run the same truth table with 1 trillion bits of information the same way a computer does. It would just take us lifetimes to calculate.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's the big thing, is that they can just snip snap, give us high-end conclusions based on top-end data. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's really, really beneficial. It's really, really beneficial. I'm here for artificial intelligence, especially when it's being managed properly. As long as it's always got a doomsday unplug button, I'm cool, right? Like, as long as the AI doesn't get to the point where it's producing its own robots
Yeah.
to put a buffer between it and the people that would unplug it, then we're good.
Yeah.
You know, as long as it isn't protecting itself with robots to keep us from unplugging it, I think that we can pretty effectively manage that shit and get some really, I mean, we already are effectively managing it and getting some really, really cool benefits societally from it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely in cars.
In cars?
Yeah, AI.
What do they do? I'm unfamiliar. What are they doing with AI in cars?
Like, they help park it and drive it and stuff.
Wow. Neat.
Yeah. They was testing it out in certain highway self-driving cars.
Hell yeah. That's dope. Well, so I
That's
didn't
really
realize
cool.
that they had artificial intelligence helping the self-driving car situation. That's neato. I mean, it makes sense. It's all gonna get tied in together. The interconnectivity of things, you know.
Yeah, I think a lot of deliveries gonna be done by AI. Like
Oh.
deliveries, like food deliveries.
Well, I mean, how is artificial intelligence going to make a delivery? Like, is
Like a
like,
robot, yeah. It'd be
oh,
more
okay,
accurate, yeah.
we're going to have automated distribution
Yeah.
that's managed by AI.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah. Why wouldn't we?
yeah,
I mean, the point of technology is to reduce cost and labor.
yeah.
You know, bottom line, like the first time we ever made a pulley
Yeah.
was to lift something big we
Like,
didn't
you
want
have
to.
AI that work for you forever, just nobody try and steal it.
Well, everybody's going to try and steal
Try to
it. but-
steal the AI. The AI have a function to fight back with somebody trying to steal it.
That's when Skynet happens, right then.
Yeah,
That's the moment that
that'd be
Skynet
funny.
happens. I'm here for it. One of my favorite philosopher types was Terence McKenna. Are you familiar with Terence McKenna?
Yeah, I heard all of his speeches on YouTube.
So have you ever heard him say that he feels like it's highly probable that we're simply the reproductive organs of the machine world?
No.
Yeah, that's an idea that he's popped out a bunch, and I think that's fun,
Yeah.
right? In quite the same way as a mushroom sticking out of the ground is the reproductive organ of fungi that is a big network of fungi under the ground. We could be fifth dimensionally the things that pop up to help produce more technology,
Oh, nice.
right? And we've done a super effective job at that so far.
Yeah.
I think it'd be neat if one day the whole planet was just a ball of chrome.
What?
Chrome.
Chrome?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like we just completely take control of everything that happens here.
Yeah.
I could see that happening. I don't see why we couldn't develop apparatuses that make it so where we could completely control the entire habitat in this environment.
Yeah.
Is that a scary idea to you?
No.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen heavy metal back in the day?
I think I saw Heavy Metal 2000.
Okay, so there was one before that where these aliens went to a planet and it was basically a big ball of chrome. Like it had been built out to the point where every square inch of it was industrialized.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could see that happening here, you know, for sure.
Yeah.
Somewhere between, just make it nice, you know? Like
Yeah.
we know how to make things pretty. Make it
Yeah.
aesthetically pleasing. Make it to where it gives us dopamine.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, all we want is the feel-good chemicals. It's fine. Let's do it. Let's rock and roll.
Yeah.
What is that movie? The Lorax. Have you seen the Lorax?
No.
Oh man,
It's a Disney movie, right?
it's a. I think I don't know.
Like a 3D movie.
I think it's like Pixar, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know how to differentiate between all
I
those
think
big
that's Dr.
studios.
Seuss.
It is definitely a Dr. Seuss story.
Yeah.
So does that mean it's owned by Disney? Is that what that means?
I think Pixar made it. Maybe it's made by Disney. I don't know.
It's one of those 5 big production studios that does the 3D animation.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's really good,
Really
and
good.
and it's like a microcosm of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They have Thneedville, and it's basically Planet Pun, except just a city. And they like look underneath, and it's all dog shit. Like they're
Oh.
selling each other bottled air because the planet's so fucking contaminated you can't even breathe the air no more. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what's going on.
That's so funny.
You can feel good because you're finally breathing some good air.
Yeah.
So
Some area of Asia, it's probably like that.
I also saw where there's a small country in Eastern Asia that's actually the only carbon positive country in the entire planet.
What does that mean?
It means that basically their carbon footprint is negative. Like that,
So negative.
Yeah, like that country, if you were to measure the amount of carbon they're emitting,
Yeah.
they're producing more oxygen than they're producing carbon because of the
Oh.
tree, like the number of trees and the lack of industry and shit like that.
Yeah.
Which is neat. I'm here for that. I like we were talking about earlier, going to walk in the woods.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
Do you have any places that you really want to go travel to? Places on your hit list?
Definitely want to hit Japan.
That'd be fun. I'm
Yeah.
an anime dork.
And that's about it.
That's the only place on you. So what would you want to do if you were to go to Japan? Like when you see yourself going to Japan, what do you see yourself doing?
Probably the area where they have like all the great food.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like all the anime places would be too overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's like crazy stores and stuff. It's like, yeah. But I like to take a walk in like the bridge and stuff.
It's incredibly beautiful over there.
Oh, you been there?
No, I've only seen I've just seen lots of photos, right? Like there's
Yeah.
the colors of the foliage that they get, like the pink cherry blossoms and
Yeah. I
there's
feel
all-
like it's a place of many different types of scenery. So
Right.
I think like if I go to Japan, I'll travel around the whole country to experience like all the different contrasts.
and it's small enough to be
Yeah.
able to move around like that.
Yeah, and it's next to the ocean, so that's a lot of like great sight to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also they call it a suicide forest. It's a huge forest.
Yeah, I've
People
heard
go
about
there
that.
to die, 'cause there's like no direction. So people just go there, get lost until they die.
Have you
But they starve on purpose though.
I'm only familiar with the suicide forest because of Jake Paul.
Oh yeah.
You
I
familiar with
heard
Jake Paul?
He went there. He made fun of a dead person.
I don't know anything about that. I just know that I know that at one point he made a video of himself walking through there, and he wound up showing somebody like hanging, and it was like a big fucking deal. And
Yeah.
I only know that because I'm a big mixed martial arts fan, like
Yeah.
a big mixed martial arts fan. I actually run a podcast called Armchair Mixed Martial Arts, where I review and preview all the numbered UFC events.
Nice.
And I mean, if you're familiar, Jake has kind of transitioned into doing fighting now. He just
Yeah, he fought Floyd Mayweather.
is
That's funny.
that Jake or Logan? I think Logan Paul fought.
Maybe, yeah.
I think
maybe,
Logan Paul fought Floyd, and Jake is the one who's kind of the more serious boxer. Who?
Oh, really? Is
So
he
maybe
winning?
maybe it was Logan Paul who made the video of the Suicide Forest. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
They're both
I don't
dumbass
know.
blonde dorks from like fucking Ohio. They're the same person in my mind. So whatever.
Yeah, hard to tell the difference.
But so I'm peripherally familiar with the Suicide Forest through my exposure to the Paul brothers through my fanship of mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
So that's how that like chain of causality gets there. I like kind of know about it. I'd really like to go to Cambodia.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you familiar with Angkor Wat?
No.
Oh man. So you're not into? Are you into like ancient architecture or anything like that?
Not really. I don't like. I enjoy seeing them, but I don't seek them out.
So I'm absolutely enamored with
Yeah.
ancient architecture because
Yeah.
it's all megalithic. It's all using rocks that are so big
Yeah.
that we would have extreme difficulty recreating it even today.
Yeah.
And these people did it thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
And in Cambodia,
Yeah.
they have the largest religious structure on the planet called Angkor Wat.
Yeah.
And I really, really want to go check out Angkor Wat.
Yeah.
Really bad. Yeah. It's this humongous megalithic site where, I mean, it's the size of, it's humongous. It's huge. And all the pillars have all these amazing carvings on them, and all the carvings on each pillar is different.
Yeah.
And the story behind how it was created is incredibly interesting according to the local beliefs. And so there's just a lot of really neato steez there. And I'm a big believer in the idea that there was, at least at some point, some ancient civilization that was more advanced than anything that we give anybody credit for in the past.
Yeah.
You know, like, I really, really do believe that there was some influence, right? There's a reason why there's pyramids all over the planet. There's a reason why there's obelisks all over the planet, right? There was some degree of influence. There was some central form of influence that you can see that's happened in completely unrelated and remote places on the planet.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's an epigenetical thing where we're all just kind of programmed with the same dispositions, where whenever we want to build something, we decide to make a triangle, and that's just something that's in our DNA.
Yeah.
Or if there was an ancient civilization that was familiar with how to build architecture that would last, and they showed these people how to do it in the past. You go and look at like Sumeria, and you go and look at Egypt.
Yeah.
They both started out grandiose and then slowly devolved into, crumble,
Yeah.
right? And that's the opposite of how every other thing has happened. Every other thing in history started off as like sheep farmers.
Yeah.
And they worked their way up and then they fell,
Yeah.
right? And just for some reason, those two ones, when we look the furthest back, there's no start point,
Yeah.
And that's incredibly intriguing. They've seen where there's rain damage on the Sphinx.
Yeah.
Well, buddy, why is there rain damage on a thing in the desert?
Yeah.
Like, this clearly has been there since the last precession of the equinox, whenever the earth wobbled, and when it was a fucking rainforest in that area. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, that puts that at being a 20-some-odd thousand-year-old structure, not a 6,000-year-old structure.
Yeah.
And so, IDK, I think that there's definitely at least room for interpretation when we look that far back. It really bothers me when the academics go, no, this is what we know happened because of reasons X, Y, and Z, and there's no room for anything else to have been the case, because it creates this environment of rigidity within academia where there's no coming back on your word, right?
Yeah.
Like, we can't admit we were wrong back then because we took such a hard stance on it, instead of just going, this is what it most probably was, maybe. Right?
Yeah.
And I wish that there was more of a, this is what it most probably was, maybe, perspective on it, not something so damn definitive, because they get so entrenched in defending their previously held ideas that they can't objectively look at new data, right? Like the archaeologists who don't know dog shit about rain erosion patterns whenever they dated the fucking Sphinx were clearly wrong. They don't know about water erosion. They didn't know about the precision of the equinox. They were just fucking archaeologists who were basing the shit off their like interpretations of hieroglyphs and shit. And so whenever other scientists come in and look at it through the lens of their professional perspective with a greater degree of ability to make certain determinations, I don't think that those things should be cast aside for the sake of maintaining the status quo.
Yeah.
And that's what happens a lot in academia. A lot.
I see. Yeah. History definitely doesn't tell us doesn't even scratch the surface of how much far we go back.
Homie, the news is fake.
Yeah.
If the news is fake, how goddamn bad is history?
Yeah.
You know? Napoleon said that history is the version of events that the people who won agreed to tell everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's all it really is we're getting the version of history that's told through this.
History is different in every country.
Right. I mean, exactly. Everybody has their own interpretations. I mean, I've heard where, the families in China, the major families in China believe they can trace their heritage back to the first dragons that landed on this planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? That's an entirely different worldview. One thing that really bothers me is whenever people refer to the religions that are practiced in different regions geographically as like trivialize it. They won't refer to it as a religion. They'll say that this is like some like a native belief, right? This is their tall tales. Like they don't act like it has the same reverence as the story of Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's only because it's Christian people telling the story. But like if it was someone from within that culture telling the story, this would be like the really, really real truth.
Yeah.
And I just wish that whenever information was presented to us as Americans, it was presented in a more objective way, not so crazily like askew. You feel me?
I feel you.
How you liking that larceny?
It's pretty good.
Not bad, right? Larceny, y'all should fucking pay me. Damn it. I just shouted y'all out. Give me money. How about that?
You could shout your beer sponsor.
Yeah, give them a
K9 Nager.
Texas beer company, know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I had some. It's really, really good.
Yeah, get it at the HEB. Know what I'm talking about? Hey, JD, send me some more beer. We need beer for these guys. See, we just talked about it. This is proof positive. This sponsorship works. I hope someone buys a 6-pack. Hope it translates to his bottom line. He's able to get some money.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite what are you watching on TV these days? What's your like favorite thing to like kill time with when you're trying to like ingest some entertaining content?
I recently finished House of Dragon. I thought that was really good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I saw the movie Prey on Hulu. That was really good.
Bro, we did a whole we watched. So sometimes we do we watched. Where we come in and do a version of the podcast where we review something that we watched, and we did an entire review on Prey. It was so fucking good.
It's a good movie to do a review on. It's really good.
Have you seen all the other Predator movies?
I saw the first one and a few more, but I don't know if I've seen all of them. I know I haven't seen all of them for sure.
I mean, there's been a lot. If you've seen Predator 1 and 2, like the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I saw the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And then the one with Danny Glover.
I think so.
It's in like Manhattan or some shit.
Really? I had to check that one out because I remember in the jungle, but in Manhattan, that's very
bro,
fun.
it's so good. He'd be killing motherfuckers in the subway, bro.
It's called Predator 2?
Yeah, it's only Predator 2.
Yeah, I had to.
Watch that shit. Oh, it's so good.
That sounds like, oh, yeah.
Oh, it's great. But, how fucking good was Prey?
It's so good.
Bro, the way he just ripped through people, it's everything you want. Everything you want out of a Predator movie.
Jeez.
I couldn't get enough of that shit.
Yeah, I like how they let a lot of people die in that movie.
Oh, that motherfucker kills everybody.
Yeah, right.
Bro, whenever he runs through the Frenchmen,
Yeah.
the trappers, the way he kills all those trappers is so vicious. It's incredible. Go Predator.
Yeah.
So,
okay, I found it.
what all psychedelics have you done?
What type of psychedelic?
Yeah, so, I mean, I understand you've done mushrooms and you've done LSD. At this point,
Yeah.
have you tinkered
I've
with
done
anything?
DMT.
Oh, you did DMT?
Yeah, it's very intense.
Oh, tell me about that. I need to hear this story. Because I've already told my DMT story like fucking 24 times on this podcast. So
Yeah.
I would love to compare and contrast experiences, man.
So my LSD shroom dealer, he has his hand on some DMT, which is like, oh shit, I had to buy it right away because it's hard to come by. So I bought it. I can't believe I had it. I always thought it's like the holy grail psychedelic like that. I might not get to experience.
It's because it fucking is, buddy.
Yeah. So
it's
it's
God
like,
particle in your fucking hand.
and it's like a brown powder ish. It's like, so we had to put.
That means it was made from root bark.
We had to put like weed on top of it, 'cause we'll burn it way too fast.
Mm-hmm.
We used like a pipe lighter, one of those torch lighter. Oh, it was white like crystal. I don't remember. Anyway, after I hit it, inhale it, and then I would feel the high. Sometimes even before I exhale, and it's so intense. Like it's different every time. Like one time, I was just like the geometric shape that's like in another dimension that's made of this dimension. But
Yeah.
it's just shapes and stuff. I was like in that shape. Like I was totally like out my body. I didn't even see my body.
Yeah.
The second time, I was like AV fiber inside the room and everything. I could feel like everything inside the room. I forgot what happened the third time I hit it. But it's really intense.
So many times do you think you've done it in total?
3 hits.
You've only taken 3 hits in total.
Yeah.
Damn, so
And
you
it's
were...
a quick trip, but
so
it's so intense.
That's wild that you were getting that psychedelic of an experience off of 1 hit.
Dude, I'm so sensitive to psychedelic now that if I ever take anything like shrooms or LSD, it's less than a gram.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I wish I was like that. Like,
Yeah,
bro,
so-
look at me in my eyes. I
turned
wish I was
sensitive
like that,
over
bro.
time. I turned really sensitive to it. So like, I don't need to do much to feel the experience.
God, I wish I was like that. I wish. I would say, yeah, man, goddamn, more power to you, buddy. More power to you.
If I save more money,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can have more dope experiences.
yeah,
I think that I just busted my circuit whenever I took that 10 hits of LSD.
yeah,
I think I really busted my circuit because now, like, for me to get the full trip on DMT, I have to take 4 hits.
wow,
Yeah. And I'm talking, I take dabs. I'm in active possession of DMT.
wow.
And,
You don't want to say that on the podcast.
yes, I do. Fuck
Oh,
you.
really?
Fuck you, feds. Come get me, bitch.
They probably wouldn't listen to this
Fuck
podcast.
them. Fuck them fucking fuckboy cops.
It's like super bottom of the list of things to do.
I'm out here waking motherfuckers up. But,
I mean, I'll be mad if the taxpaying money is going to them.
Right,
Fucking ad podcast.
everyone would. No one wants fucking the cops fucking kickdooring people over fucking personal drug use. This shit's stupid.
Yeah, I think psychedelic should be like, it's a personal thing, you know.
Listen, dog, I was raised to believe I'm in a free country.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now, if I don't have ultimate say-so over what can and cannot go into and out of my body, I am not fucking free.
Yeah.
But I do. I'll do whatever drug I want. They can kiss my ass, and I live free. And I understand that living that way might create some repercussions with a group of government thugs, but that's okay. I just avoid them.
Yeah.
You know, I just avoid the motherfuckers. It's simple, dog. Like, I see cops, I pull off the road. Like, I'm checking my air pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck off. Like, I thought I had a flat. Fuck you. I got out of here.
Yeah.
Like, pull into a stranger's driveway. I'm home now. Get out of my face. But, so yeah, it takes a lot compared to that for me to get high. And then, I don't think I can have a robust psychedelic experience on mushrooms.
Yeah.
I actually, like, am issuing the challenge to the universe. Please humble my ass, because the last time I did mushrooms, and understand that I've done mushrooms a bunch and never really had a robust experience.
Yeah.
And, but again, my version of robust is having your heart weighed against the feather of truth in the hall of Anubis. My version of robust is being Galactus while high on DMT. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm burnt out. I've been to thine mountaintop, and, 2 grams of mushrooms is like being in the kiddie pool with floaties on. It's like, just not exhilarating. Is the bottom way to put that. And so, the last time I did it, I took 8 grams of mushrooms.
Damn.
I made tea with it.
Really? I didn't know you make tea with it.
Yeah, I made tea with it. I drank the whole cup of tea.
How it taste? Bitter?
It was okay. It wasn't the best, but it's not as bad as eating it. But I mean, I wound up parachuting the mush, like because if you brew tea with it, and it's in a little ball, it turns into like a ball, like a really tightly condensed ball, and it's been soaked through, so it's a lot easier to just chew down. Like it's not crunchy and hard and terrible texture.
Yeah.
So after it was mush, I ate that, and I also took it with. I took it with this motherfucker. Mikey is dying, but I took it with grapefruit juice, a glass of grapefruit juice, and I squoze lemon into it because citrus helps the psilocybin.
Yeah.
And I also took it with some black pepper extract beforehand because black pepper extract will help it as well.
Yeah.
And so I took 8 grams and took 2 lubricants to help the psychedelic along, and it did nothing for me. I'm talking, I say nothing, it was like a 1.5 out of 10. It was there. Like, there's no denying that something was happening.
Yeah.
But, like, buddy, it didn't jerk me around at all. Like, if I wanted there to be something, I had to, like, close my eyes and meditate and try. And, bro, I can do that without mushrooms.
Yeah.
I can sit here and have a wild psychedelic experience meditating.
Yeah.
So, I don't need to fucking go spend money and risk felonies and do all that for mushrooms, but I am very hopeful that one day someone will get me mushrooms that do the trick.
Yeah.
Because I'm yet to have it. And when I did that, I took them with friends of mine. We bought a ½ ounce, and they split the remaining 6 grams. So they took 3 grams each.
Yeah.
And they were both like, wow, these are pretty good fucking mushrooms.
Yeah.
So they took 3. I took more than both of them combined.
Wow.
And was pretty meh with it.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I wish I was like you.
Yeah. Did you went somewhere after you took that big hit?
Did I go somewhere after I took that big hit? What were you referring to?
That big hit of...
The LSD hit?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I was at home. I was at home in silent darkness. I didn't go anywhere. After the trip kind of really started to wear off, the next morning we went because Clifton actually wanted a breakfast burrito. So we went. We were still awake. And got orange juice.
Yeah.
And drank orange juice and looked at the dew on the grass outside. It was amazing. It was a really good time.
Yeah.
Like the way dew settles on the grass is incredibly psychedelic. I also saw the face of God in the lead of a pencil though. So
Wow.
yeah. Bro, the face of God's on everything. It's everywhere.
Really?
Like,
You see the face of God.
if you're here now, if you're truly here now, not yesterday thinking about what happened yesterday, not tomorrow thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow, not 6 years ago during some embarrassing experience, not 6 years from now during some potential future you want or don't want, right? If you're here now, emphatically here now, and just existing, not processing what's happening through the filter of capital gain and survivability, bro, this motherfucker is magic. Everywhere, bro. It just erupts off the table. How magical all this shit is, bro. Seriously. Everything is all one big thing.
Yeah.
And, okay.
To me, everything is one big thing, learning from itself. It's always taking information. Yeah.
Nailing it, bro. Nailing it. Right now, we're learning, dog. Like, right now, me and you, we're giving that good info to the solid state drive on the back end, right? That self-awareness shit is real important at this point. Because I think that anybody who's being objective about it can recognize that there's some funky stuff happening on the planet that isn't necessarily in our or the planet's benefit.
Yeah.
And, I think just generally making everybody more aware of their own divinity and their own interconnectivity to everything else can create an environment of empathy. Right?
Yeah.
You can be empathetic with the planet. You can be empathetic with the birds. You can be empathetic with the trash. You can be empathetic with the politicians. You can be empathetic with those who you identify with and those who you don't identify with, right? Because at the end of the day, we're all backs and fronts of the same coin.
Yeah.
And your suffering is my suffering. And the only way for us to get where we're going is for us to take that really fucking serious.
Yeah. But then we knew on that we wouldn't be suffering as much. Because we wouldn't take some stuff that seriously.
Yeah.
Be more chill out.
Well, here's the thing. Everybody likes a good drama.
Yeah.
Every here and there.
Yeah.
No one goes to the movies to watch a boring flick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Live a little, make some enemies, fucking get... You know what, man? Here's the real deal. If you want to lead an interesting life, that's a worthwhile movie to go watch, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that it showed me during my psychedelic experience with the tenets of LSD and Silent Darkness is that all things are literally connected, man. And the universe is infinite. And every time that the universe splits, do you know what the primary impetus for that split is?
No.
Any time that any sentient being anywhere within the universe makes a decision, anytime that one of us chooses one way or another to impress or not to impress upon the universe, that moment is when it splits.
Yeah.
Right? And so, in that moment, bro,
Yeah.
there is one primary crux that you are being confronted with.
Yeah.
And it's whether you're going to act out of the principle of love or whether you're going to act out of the principle of fear.
Yeah.
Right? You're either going to love yourself and love that girl and go take that shot, or you're going to be fearful of getting hurt and you're going to fucking recede back into safety.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm telling you right now, buddy,
Yeah.
that if you act out of love
Yeah.
at every moment,
Yeah.
at every single time you go to make a decision, if you go, how is this the loving way to act?
Yeah.
And if they said in the Lorax, a tree falls the way it leans, right? So if you lean in the direction of love and being loving and let that be your guiding principle during your decision-making processes every day,
Nice.
buddy, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Things aren't going to go perfect.
Yeah.
But I promise, at the end of this playthrough, when your heart is on the scale and all the gods are looking at you through their microscope and they're weighing your heart against the feather of truth in the hall of Anubis,
Yeah.
you're going to have lived a satisfactory life. You're going to be able to look back at it and go, that was cool.
Oh.
I tried. I put myself out there. I did everything that I could. Things didn't work out perfect here and there. But hey, we're here now and everything's just fine.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to give you a standing fucking ovation, bro.
Nice.
Every god that's ever existed is going to be there. And they're going to go, bra fucking vo. And so be brave enough to live in your own light.
Yeah.
And lead a loving life and brave the pain that you know you're going to have to endure by doing that.
Yeah.
And I promise that at the end of the playthrough, it's going to be fun. And here's the deal is the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah.
Like, buddy, you can love yourself. That's perfectly valid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Take the time to love yourself. Do it every day.
Yeah.
And so let love be the guiding principle. If there's any one thing that I really want anybody who comes into the studio and talks with me, or anybody who comes to this podcast and listens to me speak, I want them to know that love is the answer. Seriously. In every circumstance. And there are some situations that you can come up with where it might be kind of difficult to articulate, right? Like, oh, I'm getting mugged, right? How am I supposed to love my way out of getting mugged?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, my dude. You, in that moment, as the person playing you, probably can't love your way out of it. But if he had gotten the love he needed from his parents and his uncles and the community abroad that he needed on the come up, he wouldn't be out robbing and stealing right now.
Yeah.
So you see how love would have been the proper answer?
Yeah.
Right? And so if we can just start that now, bro,
Yeah.
next generation won't have these problems.
Yeah.
So, live it. Live that shit.
Yeah.
You think I'm crazy?
No, it made perfect sense.
I'm on to something, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing about truth is that it
resonate.
it feels that you can feel it.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I want people to trust their feelings, my dude.
Yeah.
Like, for real, your thoughts, your train of images and your train of words in your brain are just your ego's attempt at justifying the feeling that you have.
Yeah, it translate that into something that they can understand.
Exactly. And so that you can, and really the biggest thing, I
Same
think,
with art, we translate a feeling into something.
bro, and the way we communicate is literally art.
Yeah.
Everything is fucking art. So whether you're expressing it through music or expressing it through communication like this is all art, bro. We're all just trying to get the truth in our hearts out.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. And I'm hoping that I've been able to...
I think it's happening. Like, more people.
Right. Well, and the thing is that we're doing these podcasts.
Definitely
At this
more
point,
than any time before in history.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Because the amount of stuff you can find now on the topic on YouTube is, like, astronomical compared to stuff they had back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, again, because we're working our way up that hierarchy of human actualization. People are trying to express themselves. People are seeking connectivity.
Yeah.
People are seeking the ability to, like, be honest, human, authentic people. And I think that the types of conversations that we're having right now, if other people can hear it, can help lubricate the path between where people are and where we're all trying to get.
Yeah. Well, great thing it's on a podcast, and you got a recording, so.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate you coming
You
through.
can even add some ominous music in the background.
Bumpa,
for
bumpa,
extra
bumpa,
effect.
bumpa, bumpa, bumpa. What is that?
I was thinking just one note, like just kind of like meditation
just like
music, like binaural beat.
Or
Music.
something ominous and bassy in the background.
Yeah.
Like you're watching a fucking UFO video.
That'd be cool.
Have you ever seen a UFO in real life?
I've never.
Really?
It's shooting star. Every time I start seeing UFO, oh, it's just shooting star.
Mikey, how long have we been recording?
We're right at 51.
I have time for one story.
Okay.
So, and I'm sorry, I feel like I talked way too much in this podcast. You're supposed to be able to talk. I'm so sorry. I was an idiot. I get to talking, and it's like, but my brother and I were heading back to somewhere, heading out of Georgetown. And bro, in the sky was a ball of chrome.
Chrome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I say chrome because that's like the closest thing that I can get for your brain to recognize it.
Yeah.
But this shit was shinier than chrome.
Huh.
It was the most magnificent, reflective sphere I've ever seen.
How near were you to it? Where you could see
It's hard to
that
tell
well?
because it was in the sky. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like between there and infinity. But it definitely seemed like I was a pretty fair distance away. I was at least several football fields away. I'd say I was probably
And you could see the chrome from that afar.
Oh yeah, I was probably at least a quarter to a half mile away from it, like in the sky.
Yeah.
And it was big.
Yeah.
It was big, homie. Like it was unmistakable in the sky.
Yeah.
And I remember being so shocked by it that I couldn't believe my eyes, and I kept thinking, you can't blink.
Yeah.
Because if you blink and this thing that shouldn't be existing per your understanding of physics currently stops existing in that moment when you blink, you'll have to second guess what you saw for the rest of your life. Like you have to keep your eyes open and watch this experience until it ends and see what really happens.
Yeah.
And bro, you know Pac-Man, right? Wop, 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 wop.
Yeah.
Imagine this silver ball of chrome opened up like it was about to Pac-Man something,
Yeah.
and it just kept opening until it was gone.
Wow.
Right?
It opened and it disappeared.
Right? It just like opened up and just kept opening and just was gone.
Huh.
Yeah.
I went to another dimension.
Something happened.
Yeah.
I really
Or
do.
became invisible.
Something happened. So you know what after having thought about it a whole lot, what I thought was the most likely
Yeah.
was that it just took off away from me in the Z so fast that my brain couldn't keep up with it. It just went straight away from me.
Yeah.
And it just went boop so fast that my brain couldn't take enough snapshots per second. I don't have a high enough frame rate in this vessel to have kept up with what actually went down in front of me. And so I was only able to piece together a limited version of what happened in that instant. And it just took off that way. And that was actually the moment whenever I told myself I was going to go become a physics major.
Nice.
Because I knew for a fact that a fucking silver sphere can suspend itself indefinitely in the sky and can vanish. And those are both things that physics don't allow for currently. And I know it's real because I saw it. You can't tell me it can't happen. I saw it happen. And so at this point, I have the cheat codes. I can work backwards. In quite the same way what I've done with this psychedelic shit, where I've worked from these big conclusions that I've gotten in the psychedelic state and worked backwards. Because if it's true, it'll stand up to academic rigor. That was the same thing I was trying to do with that experience. I was trying to reverse engineer it. It's like, I know it can happen. I saw shit.
Yeah.
And, you know, businesses and life take you away from academia, and here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy experience.
Yeah, bro. It was
life changing for sure.
It literally changed the direction of my life in the most sincere way imaginable. It dictated. It had a significant influence over what I was going to go and study in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just the government come out saying alien is real is gonna be weird to people in life. It probably change them.
Yeah.
So many stuff is going on anywhere. They don't even care.
Here's what I can leave us on. I can leave us on this note. The truth will most certainly be weirder than anything we've dreamt up yet.
Oh yeah, I agree on that.
And with that, I think that it would be dope if you could give everybody who's listening one last shout out, who you are, what you have going on out there in the world, where they can find you online, how they can support you, etc.
My name is Tai Nguyen. I'm a stand-up comedian, and you can find me on Instagram at Tai Nguyen, but with a Z at the end. And I'm recording my comedy album at my house on December 9th and 10th.
I'm going to be there.
Friday and Saturday. So come through, and appreciate it.
Word. Well, everybody, again, this is Joshua. It's the Ones Who Woke Up podcast. I appreciate y'all for stopping by and listening. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Monkey mouth. Monkey mouth. Monkey mouth. Monkey mouth.